Like many of you, the staff members here at the Family, Infant, and Preschool program are working hard to ensure that children and families continue to receive early childhood intervention services, but in a manner that protects the health of the child, family, and early intervention practitioner. This brief video will share how you can use teleintervention during this time of social distancing and includes an overview of system requirements, how to plan a visit, the 3 parts of a virtual visit, and what conducting a teleintervention visit looks like in action. Teleintervention may not work for everyone on your caseload for a variety of reasons, including access to the technology, but it can be a viable alternative for many. Teleintervention, also commonly referred to as telehealth, telepractice, and virtual home visits, among other labels, has been found to be an effective means of service delivery to assist family members and other caregivers in promoting a child's development. The guidance for use of teleintervention is changing rapidly as the COVID-19 situation continues to evolve. So before starting to use teleintervention, be sure to check with your state early intervention program, as well as the current licensing requirements for your discipline in your state, and if you must bill a third-party payer for your visits, you should determine if telepractice for your discipline is reimbursable. For more information about the effectiveness of teleintervention, funding issues, HIPAA, and other resources, we recommend that you go to the Early Childhood Technical Assistance Center webpage on telehealth and distance learning. Use of teleintervention requires that both the early intervention practitioner and family have access to the necessary technology, beginning with some type of web-based meeting platform that's approved for use by your state, your program, or your local agency. Some examples include, but they're certainly not limited to, Zoom, WebEx, GoToMeeting, and Skype. Some of these are available at no cost, whereas others would have a monthly charge associated with their use. On the early intervention practitioner end, it's important to remember that the federal laws governing in-person practice, such as HIPAA and FERPA, also apply to teleintervention. Practitioners must maintain the privacy and security of children and families that's protected health information, PHI, at all times. So before beginning, just be sure to consider not only electronic, but also environmental safeguards and standards that you'll need to have in place in order to ensure the privacy and security of the family's protected health information, as well as others. So once you're ready to begin, you would likely use a computer with a camera that's connected to your home or your office internet, depending upon where you're going to be set up. Once you have signed up for your web-based meeting application, you can set up your visits in the inside the application, and then you can email the login information to the family. The family would need to have either a smartphone, a tablet, or a computer that's connected to the internet, as well as an email account for communication. And if the family chooses to use their smartphone for the virtual visit, make sure they plan to connect to their home wireless internet if possible, or make sure they understand that visits will use a considerable amount of data on their data plan if they're not connected to a wireless network. If the family does not have access to a smartphone, a tablet, or a computer, or they don't want to use their data plan, then a phone call might be the next best option. However, you will lack the opportunity to be able to see the parent and the child actually engaged in the activity, unless they can send you brief video clips, perhaps before, after, or during the call or the web meeting. Once you and the family have your system requirements in place, then it's time to plan the visit. And this can be accomplished via a phone call prior to your first actual virtual visit. During this planning call, you can explain the use of the technology if the parent is unfamiliar, and you can plan the everyday routine or activity that will be the focus of the session. If you've already been using coaching as your interaction style and natural learning environment practices as the context for your visit, then the transition to teleintervention should be much easier, as the primary difference, other than the learning curve with the technology, is the location of the early intervention provider. Natural activity settings for the virtual visit might include a mealtime, a snack time. It might be completing household chores, could be feeding the dog. It might be a self-care routine like brushing teeth, and so forth. If the parent's able to use his or her cell phone camera or a tablet device, then this is going to provide the mobility necessary for the early intervention practitioner to literally follow the action and the activity. It can also provide the big picture view, as well as give you some close-ups if you need more detailed view. When you're planning the visit, talk with the parent about the activity and what they will be doing, what they specifically want you to be able to see, and then have them think about and share any supports that they might anticipate needing. The virtual visit actually begins with a review of the previous between-visit plan, which includes what the family was going to be doing to support the child's learning within a particular family activity. So for example, let's say the family had planned to have the child up in the high chair for mealtime, and they were going to allow him to explore new foods. Well, the practitioner can then talk with the family about their use of that strategy between the visits and find out what's worked and what hasn't. And then the family can verbally share or even show the practitioner how the strategies that he or she has been using are working. This may also be the actual activity that the parent and early intervention provider had planned for this visit. So once the parent has reflected on the success of the previous visit plan, then the virtual visit shifts to the activity planned for this visit. If the focus of the between visit plan is not the same as the current visit, this is the perfect time to go ahead and shift to the activity or the routine that was planned for this visit. During the second part of the virtual visit, the early intervention provider observes the activity and prompts the parent to reflect on how it's working and generate new ideas for ways to improve the child's participation. As in a face-to-face visit, the early intervention provider may share information and share ideas following the parent's reflection. During this time, another person in the home may be holding the cell phone or tablet with the camera directed towards the activity, or the parent may prop the device in a windowsill or on a table, or if they're using a laptop computer, they can actually set the laptop up so that the early intervention provider can see what's happening. Now, the use of modeling and demonstration by the practitioner with the child to show the parent how to position the child, for example, or use a particular caregiver responsive strategy is of course not possible on a virtual visit. However, the practitioner could talk the parent through what to do or try, or demonstrate for the parent to the extent possible without the child actually being physically present with the practitioner. How the practitioner could maybe use a doll as a stand-in for the child or use other props as needed. Now, we understand this is not ideal, but it's an option under these circumstances. During the final part of the virtual visit, the practitioner establishes a two-part plan with the family. Part one is what they're going to be doing to continue the child's learning in today's activity and perhaps similar activities within their home routine. And then part two is the plan for the activity for the next visit, and also agreement on when that next visit will take place.
So I know last time we met, we made a big plan for her. Lots of things that we were going to try. You were going to try with her at dinner time. One of them was just letting dinner time go a little bit longer,
which she definitely has been doing. Okay. I'll let her sit there as long as she wants to.
Okay. How is that helping, or how is it not helping?
It's helping.
Okay.
You can see right now, it didn't take long for her to investigate it and to taste it herself.
I see that.
Yeah. Yum.
Yum, 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 yum.
Fantastic. Okay, so what do you guys think about keeping that part of your plan or getting rid of it, or what do you want to? What do you
Oh,
want?
that's definitely like
That's a keeper.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing that you guys were going to try, and help me out if I forget anything, but the other thing you were going to try was with her formula.
Bottles? Yeah.
Thinking about adding like just a little bit of milk to the formula to get her used to the taste.
So she's on strictly milk now, and she'll have a scoop of formula just to try to get her transitioning into just that flavor by itself. But she's had a couple bottles with it just being milk and has done perfectly fine.
Okay, so what did you do to make that happen? Because we were thinking that was going to take till Mother's Day.
Yeah, she just took to it. I mean, I don't know if the first time she was just really tired, and she just decided she was going to take it. Even it being cold, she hadn't really wanted to have anything cold before, and now she just doesn't really seem to mind.
Wow. And look at her. Like, what do you notice that's different this time between this time and last time we had dinner time with that spoon feeding?
Yeah, I don't know, just doing it more often and letting her explore it herself.
I don't know if it's because she hasn't had a lot of formula. Maybe that had something to do with her appetite.
Yeah, she's definitely more hungry now.
And so she's not as full from the formula.
Okay. How are you guys feeling about how she's moving the food in her mouth and swallowing it and that kind of thing?
She's doing really well, in my opinion. Every once in a while, she'll try to like pack food in there. She does it a lot with things that she's familiar with, like bananas. She's starting to do that with pancakes too.
Okay.
So just keeping an eye on her to see like how much she's wanting to put in her mouth at once.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, is what are you doing to kind of keep her safe?
Trying to keep things in really small bites and then just monitoring how much she's got access to at one time.
Okay. All right. Well, how are you guys feeling about mealtime?
Fantastic. I'm really happy about it.
All right. So what have you added to the diet since last time?
I mean, she eats a lot more fruit. She's eating a lot of different like finger foods. She still really prefers like crackers and stuff like that, but mixing in other things as well.
Okay, excellent. And then I know I texted you that message I checked with nutrition about, that how much milk, and her big thing was like remembering about iron with like veggies or fortified stuff or whatever. How have you been able to manage that or get that into her diet?
As far as veggies go, she's not really experienced a lot of them or wanted to eat a lot of them. She's okay with like peas, and she's had string beans.
Okay.
But for the most part, she doesn't really want to interact with them.
Okay. All right.
I'm still trying though.
Yeah. All right. So what are your ideas for how you can get some more of that into her?
I don't know. What are your ideas?
Well, I mean, people play around with different things. Remember how when we started, we thought about, okay, let's think about the things that she likes already.
Right.
And how we might add some new stuff, or use those things she really likes to kind of get her to try something new. So when I put it that way, what thoughts do you have?
She does like yogurt. I can try to see if she wants to dip. Like, I've given her broccoli and carrots before, and she hasn't even like attempted.
Okay.
But if I give her maybe some yogurt to dip it into, I don't know if she'll just completely disregard them still.
Right.
If I can get her to be interested in dipping them, if I eat them with her, because that has really worked in my favor of me like tasting something and being like, this is delicious, and then she we'll kind of just follow suit to see if she likes it or not.
Yeah, that I remember that working last time.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you mentioned yogurt. What do you think it is that she, and I know she ate yogurt last time and it worked for us. So what is it about the yogurt you think she likes?
I don't know, maybe the sweetness of it.
Okay. So it makes me think about, like, people play around with different things, and it's just an idea I'm having, but like smoothies.
Okay.
And so that's a great way to kind of sneak in some veggies.
Yeah, for sure. I actually have a bunch of stuff frozen that I make for myself, so I can just see if she likes it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What if we made a plan now? What you're gonna try between now and the next time we get together with Mimi and Mealtime?
To try the smoothies.
Okay.
And work in some more veggies in that. The sweetness of like some blueberries and some raspberries may overpower some kale and spinach. So.
Okay. Yeah, and those are great iron-rich options. So I'm glad you brought those up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can try that, and then just continuing to give her different options and letting her experience them at her own timing.
All right.
And not forcing her to try something, just to give her the opportunity to experience it on her own.
Okay. All right. And I heard you talk about the power of your own modeling. So when she knows you like it, that seems to encourage her. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Very good. All right. So I've got the plan here. It seems like you guys are going to continue on with the things that are working, and then you're going to try maybe the smoothies, take advantage of her interest in that texture and that sweetness. Maybe add in some high iron kale or something like that.
Yeah.
And then a little more with the cup, because we're moving off that bottle and thinking about a cup a little more.
Right.
Okay. Sounds good. So how long do you want to work on that before I see you again and see how this is going?
Okay, get up on your chair.
How long?
Well, last time that we spoke, I said I want to give her 2 months.
Yeah.
To get off the bottle.
Right. Yeah.
I think that was like 2 weeks ago.
Right.
So, like in another, I don't know, like a month, I guess at the most, I'll give her to get off of the bottle.
Okay. I hear what you're saying. So you're thinking that maybe she can learn a little bit faster than what you originally thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just need to find a cup that she likes, so that I'm making sure that she stays hydrated enough.
Right. Right. Okay. So when should I check back in with you? Like, when do you want me to check back in with you on this specifically with Venice? Like, when should we have our next visit?
I would say 2 weeks would be sufficient.
It's obvious, but what are we gonna do when I visit you again?
Definitely try to go over and see if we can get her in a cup, find a cup, and let you watch with her interactions with the cup, and also the smoothie thing for sure. To have a smoothie ready, and hopefully that she takes to it, so you can see her.
Okay.
In that environment.
That sounds great. That sounds like they'll work. Those two things will work well together.
I believe so. She's really has come a very long way. Yes, long way.
Yeah. Well, I see who's making that happen. So congratulations to you guys. That's fantastic.
Thank you, and thank you for your help.
Oh, my pleasure. All right. So I got the plan, and we'll have to meet again someday, but I will see you guys with her in 2 weeks. Let's set a date.
We've also made available to you our roadmap for reflection when promoting interest-based child learning in natural settings. This roadmap can serve as a guide for conducting virtual visits using natural learning environment practices and a coaching interaction style. We hope that you found this video helpful in moving your early intervention visits to a tele-intervention format until the current situation improves and we can once again be present with the children and families in their natural environments.